Hello everyone, welcome to my tier list for all the war pets. Yes, I've finally gone down all of them. I've made my judgment. I have hit the jury. We've hit the execute button. And I'm here to tell you what I believe are the best pets for trying to grind for first for the best situation for your legion. So stick around for my list of all the best war pets in Call of Dragons. Hello, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily Call of Dragons videos with me, MrSneakyy. I know we got a new layout. It's a new layout. We've been getting some new layouts and I know it's a little bit more restrictive, but in the future, stuff like this will be recorded live with you guys. If you're wanting to join in, over here, should we say, in that top corner will be your live comment reactions. So if you're wanting to be involved in these tier list videos when I do them, I am going to be doing these in the live streams in the future so you can participate. So with all that, let's go into the war pets. These are the new war pets in Call of Dragons. We've got 4 lizards and then at the moment we've got 6 unique different pets that we can go for. Obviously we've got the same family of like the bear family, the bird, the dragon, and then the lizard family. So they're the different families, but there's different types within them, right? So we're going to go and we're just going to work, honestly, with no particular order. We're going to go left to right. We're going to just go over and try and mix it up so we're not already going through all the crazy ones, right? So, firstly, the Stripebear. I'm not going to lie, the Stripebear, the more I am using this thing, the more I believe it is an S tier pet. This thing is honestly one of the greatest pets in the game. And when we look at some of the skills that you can get, which will pop up above during this segment, you're going to be able to see that the Stripebear has stuff like true friendship and the ability to say like we have a percentage chance to heal. So when you match those things with certain heroes like Garwood, Eliana, even Bakshi, which is a really surprising one to have at the moment, with the Stripebear, every single time you heal, you're gonna gain a % of extra HP through the Vigor trigger. And this is actually making you very, very, very tanky in the game. So far, a lot of players have got a 2-star true friendship with even just the 1 stars on the pet. And with this, a Madeline Garwood is almost unkillable, even with tier 4, because of how strong that Vigor trigger is with the amount of healing that you are able to do. With this, obviously it is a healing style of pet at the moment, but what you can also do is add the Counter Strike. You can add stuff like Counter Strike to your pet, and by adding Counter Strike, it's going to allow, again, infantry and cavalry based marchers to, and even archers in some regards, to gain basically extra damage, because when Counter-Strike is triggered, it deals more physical counter-attack damage, and then you can get like tougher Counter-Strike, which means every time you deal physical counter-attack damage, guess what? You become even tankier. So there's really cool combos with the Stripebear that you can do. With the Polar Bear though, I'm actually going to rank the Polar Bear a little bit lower. It's, in my eyes, in the A tier. It's almost as good as the Stripebear, but I just think its actual main ability is a little bit lackluster compared to the Stripebear. That's my personal belief. I'm still saying it's a good pet. That's why it's an A tier, guys. The S and A tier are so goddamn close within each other, right? So just remember, this is really close. Doesn't mean it's a bad pet. I'm just going to say this is a really good pet, but I just don't think it's as good as the Stripebear, because again, that unique skill it has, even though we don't have access to one of the images of it right now, isn't as impactful in my eyes as the Stripebear. And the thing with the Polar Bear, again, it takes a little bit harder to grind this out. I find them quite hard to find in my opinion, but that is me on the bears, right? So we've covered the 2 bears and we've got them in that section. So we're going to cover 2 lizards and we'll set this up. And the first one I'm actually going to talk about is going to be the Venomous lizard. I'm going to put the Venomous lizard in the B tier. I've actually tried to experiment with this, and maybe in the future the Venomous Lizard could be something really powerful, because the way it works is a really cool one. And again, I do have this, and I've had this being used on me. So whenever you hit my Legion, you then start taking extra damage. It's almost like a forward mail or an additional counterattack damage that you can apply to that march. And again, you can enhance this through. The weird thing about the Venomous Lizard though, it says it deals, I believe, magical damage, but then it comes out as physical. So I don't know if it's a bug or not. So at the moment, I'm going to leave it in the B tier until we understand a little bit more on it and if it's, you know, working as intended or not. But as of now, the Venomous Lizard is a really curious one. I don't think it's really bad. I've actually liked using it so far, and it's been a really interesting choice. But what we are going to talk about is the Sand Lizard. And I'm going to put the Sand Lizard in an S+ tier, and this might cause a lot of eyebrows, but the S+ Lizard definitely is going to be the Sand one. And this is going to be the first war pet in the Sand category. And the reason why I'm putting this in the S+ category is it does what the Stripebear wants to do, but better. Honestly, it just does it better. It heals you so much more as a march due to its sand healing lizard skill that you are able to get if you capture it, you know, with that lucky talent capture. But it also has the ability then to enhance it even further. You can then again put Counter Strike on it, and the amount of healing this dishes out is so unreal because the cooldown is so low on it. And we've been seeing tests on other streamers like Shinji42 has been doing a mammoth amount of data testing with another friend called Solid. So shout out to you two for doing all the hard work for that. And I've been watching and participating and doing some myself in behind the woodwork, right? And honestly, I'm going to say the Sand Lizard in my eyes, S+. For now, S+ is definitely the best of the best tanking capabilities in my eyes for your pets. Basically, it's just so good, especially when you get it fully maxed out. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna split some up again. We're gonna go one bird and one drake, because if we go over both birds, ooh, it's gonna be a spicy one. But the Snowpeak buzzard, or the Snowpeak rock, you know, the first one, this is a really strong one, and I'm actually going to put it in the A tier. I think it is a really good pet. But the problem with this pet compared to the other pets is, in my eyes, it's only good for either archers, because the way Snowpeak works is concentration requires you to defense break them, and once you've defense broke them, Snowpeak then has a 30% or 40% chance of dealing extra some damage to him. So it's an archer specific one. But Forendil now being introduced to the game, if you know, his awakening skill does also defense break. So in theory, this is good with Forendil or archers. I would always put this with archers, and this is why I'm going to put it in the A tier, because it is an insanely powerful war pet, but it's only good for archers. It's not got, realistically at the moment, numerous uses, right? The Sand Lizard is a little bit of an exception in my eyes, and why it's S+, and we're going to have another pet up there soon in that category, as you can imagine. But the Snowpeak, honestly, don't frown upon it. This thing is a monstrous of a pet. I love it. I've got a really powerful one, as you should see above during this section when we've been talking about it. So I hope you've understood why I've liked the Snowpeak rock and putting it in the A tier. It's no means by a bad pet. It's a really goddamn good pet, right? But now we've got the Faedrake. And the Faedrake, I'm going to put, honestly, in the S+. At first, the more I was looking at the Faedrake and my first impressions of the Faedrake, I almost was going to put it in the C tier. I didn't like it at all. But I am such a change mind person. It is definitely an S+ ranked pet. And the reason why I think this is an S+ ranked pet is pretty simple. It is the best pet. The best pet for mages by a landslide. When you get Pain Bloom and Forceful Pain Bloom on this, it changes how much damage this pet pumps out with your Legion. And the reason I say that is, obviously, when you look at the skills, Pain Bloom deals more damage when you start freezing the targets and stuff. But when you look at like Forceful Pain Bloom, it shows you like the more times you Scorch, which is really good for Lilia, anytime you Ensnare, which is really good for people like Alwyn, and then Freeze, which is really good for, again, Waldea or Valen. So all of the mages that you're going to be using, it will trigger and help with Forceful Pain Bloom. And with this, you can get some nasty setups, honestly, with the magical injection and stuff. You're going to be able to basically put a ton of either magical crit damage on your march or onto the pet. Or you can even do some spicy stuff with Intimidation, where you have a really high intelligence and luck based pet where you nuke people. And with Intimidation, you have a 25% chance to basically disarm or disable the enemy Legion's pet. So it gives you a little bit more utility if you don't want to go for an all-out damage pet based on the Faedrake. But honestly, Faedrake S+ in my eyes. And now we've got the last two lizards. We're going to cover the last two lizards, and then we've got the last two uniques. So we've got the Ice Core Lizard, and the Ice Core Lizard is definitely A tier as well. I'm going to put it at the bottom of A tier at the moment. It is a really good ice mage. I would basically say a mage pet. It's a very good mage pet, and that's why I'm putting it down here. It's not as versatile as the others. You could potentially maybe use this in the future, or maybe other, you know, marches, and I'd love to hear what you guys have been using with some of these marches. But I would place this in the A tier just because it's for mages only. But the Sapphire Faedrake just outmatches this outright at the moment. The Ice Faedrake, though, the Ice Lizard is really good though. The Ice Lizard does a massive damage to the target for 3 seconds. So it's an AoE continuous damage, so you can keep uptime with DPS, with, again, potential of doing extra damage with Forceful Ice Core and other extra skills that you put onto the Ice Lizard. So I do really like the Ice Lizard. It's a really good one. And then we've got the Thunder Lizzie. And I'm not going to lie, the Thunder Lizard, I am going to put in the C tier at the moment. This is the one pet where I'm a bit torn about. I'm going to say that, chat. And that's why I'm putting it in the C tier. I'm very torn about it because I don't know if the Thunder Lizard is either going to be up here or down here, because of the fact that this Thunder Lizard could be potentially used with any march, potentially, and the fact that it has so much good AoE damage, and that's the reason why it could be potentially S+ or C. But the problem I have with it is the fact that the AoE damage seems to be really, really small, and from what we've done and caught so far and what we've seen, there's not been a really good like Thunder Lizard setup yet that we've found. So at the moment, I'm going to just put that Thunder Lizzie in the C tier for that reason alone. Hopefully in the future, I will do more testing and I can actually put this up into maybe a better position for now. And maybe you guys in the comments could educate myself, and maybe I can, you know, do some more testing on some better setups with the Thunder Lizzie and get it a better ranking, right? But for now, this is how we've got it up. This is the current rankings before the last two pets. So we have the Berserker Faedrake and the Golden Rock, and I hope you've been enjoying this video so far. I've been enjoying making it, and what we've got, arguably two of some of the best pets again. Golden Rock will go over first, and Golden Rock is automatically, and in my eyes, and we're going to put this more in the order now, I think, as well. We're going to put the Sand Lizard at the bottom of the top 3, but I think the Golden Rock is the best pet in the game. It's just so good. Exuberance and Feral Exuberance for your march, allowing you to generate so much rage, and this can be worked with a lot of marches, like people experimenting with cavalry, some people are using it with infantry, Some people are using a mixed combo of using like MrSneakyy, you know, for it. You've got even some archer players using it. The fact that this is used so much because of that rage generation and the potential of healing troops on top, and then you can add even more crazy skills to it. This is definitely, in my eyes, the best pet in the game right now, without question. The fact that rage, and you can potentially fire your rage skill off, you know, compared to your opponent first by a turn or 2 turns earlier, depending on how often this triggers, is going to be game changing, right? So this is why it's an S+. Once you've got it, you'll understand. Honestly, guys, if you've not got a 1 or 2 star exuberance golden rock with a feral exuberance attached to it, you're missing out. This thing is so scary. And now we've got the Berserker Faedrake. Yes, the Berserker Faedrake. And honestly, the Berserker Faedrake's really, really good. I'm going to put it in the S tier, honestly, because the Berserker Faedrake is really, really good. You get Arrogance, and Arrogance allows you, again, to basically get some stacks for extra damage that it applies on for fulfilling the Arrogance requirements, right? And it's a really good one with heroes like Thorondil, right? Thorondil does actually work with the Berserker Faedrake really, really well. People are still testing it with him. They're testing it with a bunch of other marchers too, and they are loving it with cavalry. The fact that the Berserker Faedrake as well, you get a very free one. The free one that you get has Fierce Attack, Super Fierce Attack, as well as the 3rd special Fierce Attack. Let me find it really quickly. So you get Super Fierce Attack and Forceful Fierce Attack. So you get that for free, and that Berserker Faedrake on its own is amazing because that Fierce Attack that you get allows you have a 4% chance of dealing extra damage whenever your deputy casts the skill. So again, this is good for any march if you have the Fierce Attack Berserker Drake set up, because again, you could put this on an archer march, you could put it on a cavalry march, you could put it on an infantry march, and you could put it on any physical based march, because the deputy is always going to trigger the Fierce Attack, and it's a really good combo. So honestly, the Berserker Faedrake is a really, really good pet that you could be using right now, and I would recommend it for you. So that is it. That is all my actual boys. That's where I'm going to put them for now. At the moment, we're going to hopefully in the future get some more war pets, because I know if you've been paying attention to like the developers videos which announced, you know, some of these pets, we are missing, for example, a bear, which was looks more like a dire bear, you know, the black bear. We've seen that in the video, as well as we've seen a owl in a video. So we know we're missing 2 of them. So until we see those, obviously we can't add them into the tier list, but hopefully in the future they get added soon, and we can obviously make our decision on maybe if they're going to be better than any of the current pets in the game. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the tier list. Do you agree with what I've put? Obviously, I'd love to hear your comments below. Again, this is just my opinion on them, and this is from playing it for now almost over a week in as well on Season 2, which is a brand new season. So obviously, focusing on a pet is very, very key, because you only get that 2 extra, well, the 2 warrants at the start of the season until you get the extra 3 towards the middle to the end of season, right? So hope you enjoyed it. That is all the war pets, my tier list for them all. Check it out. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe for more daily Call Dragons videos with me. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out, everyone.